upstairs. My gut read is I feel like eh, maybe he deserved it. He can't. How often has he screwed with you? That all depends. I'm not behind the scenes when that guy's probably annoyed the crap out of you on multiple emails in the past. So if your basis is the guy's a prick, he couldn't even do that right. Hey, I'll give you that one. It is what it is. You know. But what was the thing I was going? Oh, I was going to say no one's more competitive than you and me, and nobody takes things more personally if somebody tries to infiltrate our show with their pop without asking us first, right? But I'll tell you
Yes.
what. I'll tell you what the difference between you, me, and Hannibal is just that when you have Brutus on and Brutus is talking with you for how long was the interview? Was it an hour? I'm just guessing. I don't know how long the interview was, but at the end, if Brutus is still talking and you just cut the cord like that, I can't see us doing that. I can't see us doing that. I think it was rude to Brutus. What do I know? Never mind the fact that his jealousy or his hatred for us was clearly on display. Yeah, good luck living with that. I give him very little thought. So if we,
Dude, the list
you
the
know,
list is long for people that hate us, man.
I don't
I
care.
sometimes I don't get it. You know what I
I
mean?
kind of
We're
do.
we're not overly cruel. We just call it like it is. We don't
Right,
go over the top on
right,
things.
right.
I mean, look, there's a guy named John Paz on his channel. Okay, I know some people like the guy. I personally not as a dislike him as a person,
Hmm.
but you're talking about effect.
Right.
And I swear to God, Jimmy, and I'm not trying to be funny here. If you close your eyes and you listen to this guy interviewing, it sounds like Kermit the Frog is interviewing a wrestler. It's like, what is this on purpose? Is this what's
So
going on?
So is it basically sounds something like this? Hi, hi ho! Today we have Bob Backlund.
Exactly.
Yay! Is it something like that? Hi ho!
Yeah.
Oh my God! Very funny, frog. Hi! Unbelievable.
But there.
Well,
Listen, and as for as many people as we think are terrible out there, there's some people that are very, very good. So, and we have a lot of them on our channel, right? So again, it's to each their own. What you like, what you don't like,
right,
is what it is, right?
right.
But
Yeah,
there's some sticks out there that are annoying me, like the kid from England. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know Kevin Nash has a podcast. He acts like he doesn't know. He's like, I'll think he has a pod. I can't do the English accent,
mm-hmm.
so I was doing a Southern accent, but it's like, I think Kevin Nash has a podcast. Shut up, dude. Like, if you're in this game, you know everybody who's doing everything. You're looking at everybody because you're like you said, we're competing, right? So you
Right,
gotta know who's out
right,
there. So this whole thing
right.
of like not acting like people are out there, it's so stupid and it's annoying.
I got you. I mean, the kid across the pond lost me a long time ago because look, if there's one thing that will not, I don't care if people tune into him or not. It doesn't. What matters to me is are we interesting? Are we not boring? Oh my God, there's so many channels where it's just question and answer. And look, I mean, I wanted to get out of school because of that approach. I don't want to sit there and feel like I'm sitting in history class. And that was what we decided early on in the early days when we started doing this show. It's like, no, we're not going to be like a math test, for God's sakes. And I give you a lot of credit for that because at first I was like Bill Apter Jr., like, oh, let's ask him about the armbar. What? You know what I mean? It's just sometimes that pays off. Sometimes what you like to do pays off.
Listen,
We do it together and we're
dude,
not boring.
there's nothing wrong with what you just said because some people like that. But at some
Right,
point at our age, we got to do what we enjoy. It's
right.
like you can't sit like I have no enjoyment discussing about certain things. I'm sorry. It's just look. I tell the story all the time. For anyone that doesn't know, Tony Atlas was on the show a million times, and I used
Yeah.
to say to Jimmy, "Bro, Jimmy would be like, when are we asking the Brody question?" I'm like, "Bro, we can't ask that question." This went on, right, Jimmy, for a very long time.
Yeah, it did.
Finally,
Yeah,
Jimmy
sure.
broke me down. I said, "Fuck it, just ask him the fucking question."
Right.
Let me tell you something. That was the best story he ever
Hmm.
told about
Right,
Brody.
right,
Period. Doesn't
right,
matter. It's it's been
right,
in the dirt sheets. It's
right,
whatever. Jimmy, you were
right,
100% correct. So you're right.
right,
It does pay off. And you know
right.
what? I was eventually, I was like, whoops, made a mistake. And I enjoyed it. It was an
You
enjoyable
you didn't
recap of what he
you
said.
didn't you didn't make a mistake because ultimately we executed it. First off, second off, what do you remember? Why I told you why we should ask him? Because it's us asking him. Not not the guy across the pond, not Joe Blow sitting in mama's basement, blah blah blah. You know how we like to treat our guests. We actually have the nerve and the originality to treat them as human beings. So I just knew in my gut, let us ask him and we'll see what happens because Tony trusts us. You know what I mean? Tony is cool with us. He's a good guy. So I was not surprised and it was a fantastic thing. It was, but it was you executed it, we did it together, and Tony gave a killer response. And that was great, you know? That was great. I mean, listen. There's also the other half of this. Like,
Agreed.
sure,
Agreed.
I'll nudge you to like ask a wrestling question, like the Brody example. But who calls me and goes, "Hey, listen, I think Chris Masters should put you in the master lock, Jimmy." That's you. You know what I mean? And I'm going, what do you
That's
mean?
true.
I don't want him
Right.
touching me. Are you crazy? Oh my God. Dude, that turned out because I knew how to work. And Chris, Chris Adonna, he recognized right away, this guy knows how to work, So we did it and it was fantastic. But without your idea there and then me executing it, you see the symmetry here? Isn't it beautiful? But that's that's
So
that's
let
how
me
things,
ask you this, Jimmy. Now that you brought that up, because I'm
yeah.
going to skip over this next